Hello, everyone. Welcome to Friday Live. My name is Ashley Hay. I'm an artist and also the importer of PowerTex for Australia. So it is wonderful to be back with you again this week. And if you are watching, please let me know. I love to see who's here with me. And of course, what I want to do today is to inspire you to create this weekend. So with PowerTex art supplies or any other art materials that you have. But I do use PowerTex in my artwork and particularly for sculpture and also to create beautiful textural effects. So it is really wonderful. So today we are talking about creating templates for sculptural form. So I have, if you have a look at the last Friday Live, I have actually done some of my own drawings of seahorses, and this is a drawing that I've done myself, and then I've simply enlarged it on the printer, printed it out, and now I'm ready to make a template. So the fantastic thing about making a template is then you can reuse it over and over again. So you simply make it once, and then from there you can use it multiple times, and it is just absolutely so much fun and makes the creative process really awesome. So you draw your drawing once and then you can reuse it multiple times in so many different ways by enlarging it, reducing the size, blowing it up onto a canvas, so many possibilities. So what I have done to create this template, and if you are watching in replay as well, please let me know too. It is always wonderful to see you guys with me and see who has been watching. Let me know what you've done and how you have created your sculptural form. So there are so many possibilities, and that's what I want to say first of all. And we are going to look at a few possibilities today, different ways of how I will then use this template that I'm making to create my form. Okay, so I have got my drawing, which I have enlarged, and so you can see it is just attached to this piece of cardboard, which I've extended just with a little bit of tape because I didn't have a piece big enough, and I just thought I'm using what I've got. And, you know, it is so good to recycle materials. This cardboard is recycled from packing, so you know it always makes it really exciting to actually utilize materials which are found. Hey Nicole, lovely to have you here as always from a lovely Three Hearts studio in Mandurah, and Mariana from Queensland, from memory Mariana. So welcome and thank you so much for watching live. It is really lovely to see the comments as they pop up. So it would be really wonderful if you have any questions, ask them along the way. Okay, so to create my template, I'm simply going to trace the outside of the design. So I don't have to trace all the interior of the design because I don't need any of that detail. What I need is the outside edge that I can then cut out. So just doing that, and I might just pop on so that you can see a little bit closer. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, that should be a little bit closer now. And of course, where the tracing paper comes down to the edge here, I just need to move it back around. I can't remember where I got to up here. So we'll just go start here and go around. So it doesn't take too long. It's actually really relaxing as well. So it's, always a bit of fun to do things like this, which are a nice, easy part of your creative process once you've already done your design drawing. Okay, here I'm not going to use the fin because I can actually create that with something else. So I'm just going to follow this sort of bone line. Just go through there. And I'm going to stop there and bring my tracing paper down. I think I've missed my bony line there a bit. Okay, I just need to do this bit here. And what I want to do is just make sure that I have this bit down around here. And I'll just continue this because I think I lost some of it. So it doesn't matter if it's not totally accurate. And then I'm just coming down there. All right, so let's take a look. So I'll just flip that over. And so you can see now I actually have this design, which is the one that I've cut out here. There was a fin there, that's why that's there. So we'll just take that out. Now, what I want to do this time is instead of him being so straight up and down, I want to take his tail and I want to make it go a slightly different direction. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up these points where that changes. And instead of using the tracing paper now, I'll just move that up so you can see, I'm actually going to use my template that I've already cut out. Yep. One of the key things that you can see is you don't want your template to move. So that's why when I had the tracing paper on there, I had the drawing fixed to the top of the surface there. So that if I looked to see whether it had registered, it actually had. Okay, so now I have a seahorse. Instead of him being so straight up and down with his tail is now going out, so it looks a little bit more like he's swimming in the water, just different direction, slightly different shape, because of course their tails move. If I wanted to, I could also unravel this tail a little bit. So, I might come out a little bit further and get rid of those lines. This is where it gets confusing, so I might just draw it in with a thicker pen. Okay, and so I could actually unravel that a bit more even if I wanted to. Right, so you can see how you can correct it as you go as well, which is what I did on this one too. So, you can change your drawings around, manipulate them, and it really makes a wonderful difference. So, hey, lovely to have you here, Anne from Canada, and Vanya, I hope that's how you pronounce your name, from Norway. Lovely to see you and great that you can join me live. All right, so of course, once I've got that, then I just need to cut out my template. And to do that, I've got these dinky little scissors, which are just fantastic. So They are really small little scissors, and you can get a lot of detail with them. The other thing that is great about these is they have this slight curve on them, which I'm sure you can see, and it just makes it so easy to actually trim that out. So there you have it, making a template from your design drawing. So taking your drawing, blowing it up on the computer, and then actually, transferring it across onto some cardboard so you can cut it out as a shape. So once you've got that shape, what can you then do with it? Well, one of the things that I love doing with when I'm creating is I do love to use styrofoam. So those of you who know me know that a lot of my artwork, I actually use a styrofoam base. And the wonderful thing is that Powtex actually adheres to styrofoam. So if you are into recycling and up-purposing materials, then you can recycle styrofoam, which is fantastic, using Powtex art supplies, and you can get some absolutely stunning surfaces. Now, one of the things that I love to do is I love to carve the styrofoam. So next week I will be showing you some of what I do to actually carve the styrofoam. So if you are interested in my art process, make sure that you join me again next week, and that will be wonderful. All right, so now that I've got this template, we'll put this one away because, of course, it's just going to be basically a cut-out job, which will end up like this. So just take your time, enjoy the process. It is really, really lovely to just, sit there and just do something that doesn't require much thought. It is quite meditative. So I'll pop that one away. Now, what I did then was I then got a block of styrofoam and I traced around the seahorse shape. So that means that then I can cut out my seahorse from the styrofoam. So you all remember this piece that I made the other week, and if you haven't seen that, I did a live where I was talking about how to create art from recycled materials or household junk. And so this is what I made the other week, just from found materials in my studio space. As we were talking about that, it was just an example of the sort of thing that you can do. And so, of course, I was already thinking about the beautiful textures of the seahorse and how that looks. So I can actually carve this shape out, or I can actually use the template to actually create my sculptural form in a different way as well. So I can lie elements down and then I can attach them all together and play around with working more three-dimensionally with different forms. So as I say, there are always options. And so it's a case of going, okay, I want to try this, I want to try this, and I want to try this. And then, of course, you end up with 3 different seahorses that all have different ways that you've actually made them. So whether it's a seahorse or whether it's something else, another drawing that you have done, as I say, there are so many possibilities that you can create from that one drawing, which is super, super exciting. Okay, so I would transfer this onto my styrofoam just by simply tracing around the element. So we can do that quickly now. While we're here, why not? So I will do it this way so that I have more room to put my tail in, which I want going in a different direction. And so again, this is very quick once you've got that template, and it doesn't have to be totally perfect because when you carve it out anyway, you're going to get imperfections, and then there is a little bit of work to do to actually create your sculptural form from here. So you could also use it to manually create your form without using styrofoam. But like I say, I do love me a bit of styrofoam. So those people that know me, like Nicole, she knows how much I love creating from styrofoam. And for a long time, I have actually wanted to do some sculpture from junk styrofoam as well. So that will be happening this year too at some stage. So just going around it the same way as I talked about before when I was creating the actual template itself. It's handy to have a few versions, and also I could make these templates in different sizes so that I can have my seahorses smaller or even bigger. I can also use them for mixed media painting. So if you have a look at some of the previous Friday lives from last year, I did some work on Power Wax, and I actually used some cardboard templates for some small works with that. So I could make some smaller templates that I can use on some of the small works. Okay, so we're finishing there and we're finishing there. And then we're going to turn this tail around, taking those same endpoints. So it was there. And now I'm going to have it take it a bit further around. So what I do want is I don't want to take it too much out of the actual design that I've already got. Otherwise, it will totally change the design. There we go. Just trace around that. But this should look like it's got a little bit more movement, which will be a bit fun. Make it a bit different. Okay, so now I've got one which isn't so straight up and down. So the design now has the tail sort of coming in this way. So I actually really would like it as well for the tail to come out this way. So just thinking about how to make that happen. So probably about there. Let's try that. See how it looks. Okay, so I like that, so I'm just going to scribble that out. So see how you can change it up? I'll just hold that a bit closer. So I actually feel like I'd like the seahorse to have more of that feeling of swimming, where the tail actually comes backwards. And again, I could do it even further if I wanted to and really push it out there. So at this stage, all it is drawing the design in. I probably should have used a different colour. That would help. So if I used like a red marker instead of a black marker, it would show the difference. Oh yeah, that looks lovely. So now he's really swimming around. So cancel those out. I'll cut that out for you so you can see how that looks next week. So I might actually cut it on next week's episode so that you can see how I cut it out. And then I'll show you where to from there in terms of carving and design and other possibilities. So there you go. So we've got movement of the tail in 3 ways. Nicole's just saying your styrofoam art is spectacular, including the artwork behind you. So yes, let's just take a look at that. So the piece that is behind me here is actually a warrior woman. So it is actually a bit of a self-portrait. And you can't see the full thing there, but it is carved styrofoam, like Nicole is saying. So yes, I am revealing some of the ways that I actually create that sculptural form over the next few weeks. So yes, stay tuned for that. All right, so once I have done that, I want to cut out my shape with my cutters. And so instead of ending up with a flat cardboard shape, I now have a piece of styrofoam which is actually cut out in the shape of my seahorse. So I'll just go to the other camera so that you can see that a bit better. So you can see, you know, I've created some texture as I've gone. So now I need to create the sculptural form from there. And there's enough depth in the styrofoam that I can actually have a play with carving back into this. It might be nicer if it was even deeper, so maybe, you know, 5 centimetres thick instead of, I think this one's 4. I haven't checked it, but this is really nice styrofoam, so it is actually harder grade than what you get in the packing, and I actually get this in for some of my sculpture workshops just for convenience, because you know, like if I'm doing an artwork and I'm using packing material, that's fine. But finding the same packing material or similar packing material to do workshops with makes it a little bit challenging. So there you go. So I have used my template. I've traced around the styrofoam to get it ready. And then I have actually cut that styrofoam out. So like I say, I'll show you how I cut that out next week, and I will also show you this. So this is another option of what I am looking at doing. So with this particular one, you know, like I've got the seahorse head, I could just work on the sculptural form of that as a head in itself. It actually looks really, really like a bit of fun. But what I was thinking when I did this was, well, I could actually start adding, you know, some of these sorts of textures like this that I've already got here into the seahorse. And so this is where, when you are designing something or you're creating a new artwork, you need to think about, you know, not just doing it once, but actually playing with a number of possibilities. So the benefit of coming to a workshop with a PowerText trainer, I need to actually use some pliers to get that in, but basically I can push that wire directly into that styrofoam, which is really, really awesome. And then that will be attached onto there. So that's what I was sort of thinking. I also thought that with this, it would be really nice to come out with another layer of this so that it coils into here. And again, it will give it that really beautiful form where it's thicker as it comes into the body. So several possibilities, so many possibilities. Once you have that drawing, once you have that template, it is just so much fun. So I might just turn that over so the cotton reel doesn't come off, and we can leave it there. So I hope that you have enjoyed that today. And so as I say, next week I will be talking with you about carving styrofoam, how you can create sculptural form. Of course, I could actually take this and I could build further depth onto it by adding texture, which I will probably do on one of them. So what I'm thinking is, obviously with this one, I'm going to play with joining my tail on that I made the other week and just play with the sculptural form of that. One of them I will do a very simple three-dimensional form using the styrofoam, and then the other one I'm going to do a more complex carving where I actually carve the textures in and I don't just add to it. So a bit of fun for the weekend. Have a bit of a play with your own drawings, create some templates for yourself, and this is how you can design your own artwork. So take the ideas that you love, things that you have story and relevance in your own life, and then create some beautiful drawings from them. Take the time to do that, enjoy that, and then actually, create your piece from there. So let's go, let's do it. So Nicole's just saying, oh my goodness, you filled me with some arty ideas for the weekend. So that is wonderful. I really love that. So that is fantastic. And I can feel a new workshop class that will be inspired by this live. So I am also developing a workshop with this. So that is what I am doing. And Kat is just saying, thanks, Ashley. Lovely to have you here, Kat, as always. And again from Canada. And I really, really hope that you guys have a wonderful creative weekend. And don't forget that if you do create anything, make sure that you do connect with me on the Facebook group and post what you've created, that would be wonderful. So to watch me live each week, you can subscribe on the YouTube channel, and that is the easiest way because you'll get a little reminder each Friday that, especially if you ring that bell, that I have gone live, and it will ding and say, hey, Ashley is live. And that is a really good way to stay in touch. And then, as always, if you do need some power text, which we haven't touched on yet, this is all about design ideas and how to develop your ideas and take them forward. But of course, as you know, the power text will adhere to styrofoam, and it just brings you so many possibilities for how and where you can actually take your artwork. So Mariana, I really appreciate your comment. So Mariana is watching live, and she has said we are very lucky to receive all of this for nothing. So I really appreciate that, Mariana. And if you do love my Friday lives, I have got workshops on ashleyhayartacademy.com. where you will find my online workshops. And of course, it is just more detail. So I am thinking that I will probably do an online workshop from this in some form, and I'm just sort of throwing ideas around at the moment, playing with things myself, and so you guys are getting to see my creative process and what I go through when I'm developing something new. So thank you so much for watching. Anne's just saying thanks, Ashley, and thank you to all of you for joining me. It would be pointless me doing any of this if you guys weren't watching. So I really, really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you again next week, when I will show you a little bit of how to carve out your styrofoam. So stay tuned for that one. Be sure to join me. If you're watching in replay, please let me know. And that will be wonderful. Thank you so much, Vanya. I really appreciate that. She's just saying that she loves to watch my lives. So thank you so much. And I hope they inspire you for the weekend. So that's the whole point, is to inspire you to create and get creative out in your studios in your time, so that you can fulfill some of your beautiful creative goals. So thank you for watching, everyone, and I will see you the same time next week for Friday Live Fun, and we will be carving styrofoam. Woohoo! Stay tuned. Bye.